So basically, there's a new trend in the designer community, and it's the same thing, but I feel like it's much more better than the pick me style that I was doing, and it made people like shade more or learn to shade at least, because I'm very mad at the non-shaders that are getting like what 3,000 Robux for just two things. Gets me mad, man. But anyways, this is the style made by this person. I don't know what it's called, but I kind of just figure out like it's a combination of Haim Garu, I don't know how to say it, with lingerie, because it's giving the same color palette. Okay, I'm gonna search up Haim Garu, and you see it kind of just has the same like aesthetic, but it's in like very lingerie form. So they consist of mainly pink, light pink, and black, or white or black. This one's a close example. This one is another example, kind of like this one. The same person again, like this. Like, look at this. Literally this, same thing. So when you go on Pinterest, just search up that word. The second thing is the format of the quote-unquote lingerie. I feel like this, or this, just anything like tube top, and then this format, like just make this part, not everything else down here. It's kind of like this. I think I'm gonna do this one first, or maybe this, but in the very limited color palette. Yeah, I think I'm gonna generate a outline for y'all. First up, you want to get your template and the references you want, kind of like this, but I'm gonna make it more like cute in a way. So I'm just gonna be doing this part and a little skirt and then all that. I'm gonna teach you even the shading. So get that. The very limited color palettes are, select anything with around this range, something like this, and then you get your black, and then you can get white. These are strictly for the whatever that is aesthetic. Now for the outline, there's this I don't know what this thing is called, the M shape. So we're gonna do that. Usually well, I'm using an advanced template. I also post this like template on like Twitter for you to use. You can make your own, don't copy me. But yeah, it has these lines too, so you're good to go. Alright, so I start off with this line because this indicates like the chest area. Like this is where I'm gonna put the oops. I don't want to make it too exaggerated because Roblox does its funky little shaping with different body types. I feel like the top climb should go here. I'm trying to perfect this, guys. Like, it's bothering me. Yeah, we can just do the bra shape. So, over here. Do this. And I kind of, like, you can just, you know, leave out these parts, but I'm I want to see what happens if I did add them. Usually with these parts, I want to make it look like it's round. For the chest area, anything with these will go towards up, like kind of like this if it's a straight line strap. And then I add the ruffles. And then I just curve it back like over here. Like I don't care really. Don't worry, we're gonna shade this and make it look cool. And then for the side, actually we should make the same length. I'll copy and paste this. Now what can I add? I'm like studying this as I go, so my bad. I found a reference. I just dig deep into the Pinterest hole and found under the keyword lingerie this thing. I mean, we can add like ruffles. And then in the back, I just don't care again. I'm a little too lazy, but once I'm done with like this part shading, I'll just copy and paste it and put it here. We're gonna add more ruffles. What up, guys? So I think I can do a little bit, like over here, or over. Actually, no, over here. This looks good. It's gonna look so good, guys. And I'm gonna put a bow there, and then it's gonna be many bows, and then it's gonna be sparkly, and then I'm completed. Let's just do. Hey, let's just search up ruffle skirt, and then pick whichever one. I'm going to do this one. Just found it. So same thing. If it's below this line, we're going to curve it on here, because usually for women or blocky woman body, they kind of like do this like curve, and it kind of makes the clothing like curve it itself, but we kind of want to enhance it more instead of making it flat, you know? It's not gonna do it for us, so don't make this any high, and then I can just make this flat, because who cares? Like, I only care if it's jeans. Now I'm trying to avoid this line right now, like this line over here, because it's gonna make it look weird on Roblox, and plus everyone just manages to make it look very short like that. So what I like to do is just do some squigglies like this, like make it random. You only care about the shading that does it for you. And then make sure it is lined up. If you want and it looks weird to you, you can just change it, but make sure it lines up over this line. You don't need to, like, if you want. Actually, no. We gotta keep it short. We gotta keep it short, guys. So, put this right over here. You see these lines? This is gonna be very like hard to, or really weird to like convert on the template. It's gonna look weird on Roblox, so that's why I'm trying to put it down a bit, so at least some of it goes on the legs. Well, time to add your base color. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this out. People who use Maybank, like, I don't know about mobile, but on PC, you can, you know the gap fill thing? Like, you want it to be more accurate, right? You don't want these, like, weird lines, right? Well, in Medibang, there's a thing called, when you select the magic wand tool, there's a thing called tolerance, and this is how accurate you want the thing to select it. And see, no little messy lines, none of that. Only a few, but if you put it too high, it's just gonna disappear because it wants to be as accurate as possible when selecting the certain color. It's shading time. What I like to do is I always use pen for this. I have a 17 or lower to 15 to just put a default side like shading, and I just use the snap tool, crisscross snap, and I just do these lines. I'm gonna do Gaussian blur. Don't go over 5 because that's bad. And then I do overlay and put it to the lowest. Well, that's how it's shaped, but most people just put it to like full 100. Okay, I just do a snippet, just a tiny bit, and then I'll go over here and take my beautiful fabric that I always use, this one. I'll also put it somewhere on Twitter, and then I do overlay again, and I put it to where you can barely see it, but you kind of know it's there, you know? This is the shading part. I usually use, well, back then I usually use overlay, and I set it all the way down to black, and I'll just shade like this, but it doesn't go as dark as I want to, and plus I'm gonna make a lot of layers just to make it as dark as I want. So I'm gonna do multiply. Now for this color, I'm gonna teach you a little bit about hue shifting. You don't want it dull as hell, but you want it like dull but more more color. Well, dark, but a little bit more color, not dull. So somewhere like here, this one is good, and I select it to multiply, and I put my brush settings like low depending on how I want to like shade it, this round part. So I'm gonna do the bases of this, just make it round. You can, well, I'm gonna copy and paste this, so you can just do half if you want. And don't blur it all, but like blur some of it. I rather keep this one a little bit darker than this one being more faded out. Do this, connect it. And I'm just gonna put it randomly. I don't know what this is called, like, it's more tighter and there's light coming here. Alright, now the black outlines bother me, so I'm gonna take a dark layer and I'm gonna color the outline block, well, protect alpha. It's easier than clipping. And just color. Now my technique is once I blur it and I want to make something like a stroke like sharp, I'll just erase it and then go back to blurring it. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's not, you know, I don't like it sharp, so I'll just blur it again. That's my tactic to shade. I don't know how else to like tell y'all. Now there's definitely shadows under here because you want the light to go in front, but you also know this is also separate. These are popping out, and this one is more sucked in. See the tactic I'm doing? I'm blurring, but also erasing. Always like a little bit of a dull color, make it more realistic. I don't know. I'm gonna use the same one. You can make a new layer if you don't want to mess this whole thing up. So for ruffles, it's more like whatever the hell Alyssa's doing. Go check her out. it's more like this shape, or like lines going out, and then you shade this part in the middle and then blur it. Add a bow here. Okay, shading that. Feel like there's a little too much. Going back, erase it, and then definitely don't make it too bright, like for your outline. Definitely keep some like, oh, let me just do it transparent. You see how it's like light and then all of a sudden there's like dark outline? Yeah, that's gonna probably show on the skin color of the Roblox avatar, or just in general, like it will show that, oh, there's probably like a darker shadow there, whatever, I don't know what it's called. So I'm just gonna put the shines over here on the middle part, and then here, and then I feel like just having it normal will not do its justice, so I feel like maybe add, but lower it. Well, the thing is, Roblox doesn't like it when you have really obvious like boob shading, and it's already a problem because you're more okay if you shade with only black, or have the only colors like black and white, or majority of it is not pink, because Roblox thinks it's inappropriate, and I don't know why, but it has been proven back then. So, and I haven't bypassed in a while, so I don't know how to help you. Take this as your own risk if you're doing all pink. Ruffles. And don't worry, if your thing is not as sharp as you want it to, and you're like, I hate doing this going over tactic or whatever, don't worry. At the end, you can sharpen it, like, do it like this. Sharpen under the filters, and then don't do it like too much, it looks very deep fried. Do however like below, or if your thing is very like blurry, you have to go over 100, but I don't think you really need it. I think around like 70. See? It'll make it more sharper. Okay, for this one, this is the same thing, except, well, you can try following this. It's more of lines and not like tallies for this one, because it's small. This one is lines. Don't put too much, because it's gonna look weird. You must have variety. Keep it within, like, over here where there's a dent, like, don't do too much of it, just do mainly when there's a dent here. Alright, looks good. Now take your white part. Since mainly it's very sparkly, we're gonna have to do some over here. I like to do this like triangle motion, like over here. Ow! Like over here. And then like somewhere over here. You see, shading always does the trick. Your outlines may look goofy, but your shading does it. It just hides it, just like makeup. You're ugly. Alright, I sharpened it, I colored it, I made it a little bit transparent. I copy and paste this thing to the back, and we're all good, except that I want to draw a bow, because there's a lot of bows in this. Can't go wrong with that bows. And laces too. So first, go on Pinterest, search up pink ribbon, and you should get something that looks like this. This is also important because you might use like this for shading ribbons. This is the same tactic with well, the coloring tactic. You're gonna do add and a multiply, but this time it could be either dull or this same color, just darker and a little bit colorful. So once you get that, just pick a bow that you want. This one is better. Yeah, this one is better, alright. If you're lazy, you can just boodle bash it. You know, whatever you want, but I'm gonna draw it because it's gonna look weird. Bow has been drawn. Alright, we're gonna take the color. Now the thing is, you can feel like you can do pink or white with this. Will black look good? Black will also look good. It's a very limited color palette that's also very good. No, this is a hard decision. I'll just do white. Usually white, I take like a blue. This part definitely is gonna be dark. This part you can make it a little bit dark. There you go, we got a bow. And then optional, but if it's not dark enough for you, you can drop shadow it to overlay, adjust it however you want. And oh yeah, by the way, if you want to add lace, I got you. I'm gonna add lace. Alright, now this is I'm just gonna trace this. Do it in black. Alright, so, okay, just gotta color, like, actually, no, we can do, yeah, we can do this. I was gonna say, you can color it and take, like, a lace, and then just paste it around, like, over here, and then just make it clip into the filled part over here, and then just go funky with it, you know? Go funky with it, just shade it a little bit. Do the drop shadow right over here, do the same thing, drop shadow. You can do black because this one will not show, and since it's white it's kind of, or you can just select color here, that works too. Then over here, I think someone made this tutorial. I learned it from, I think, I'll probably put it in the screen, that person. I'll find them. But yeah, they do the lace same thing, like this. But instead they do overlay. And I'm just like, winging it in the layer itself. That is my tutorial. Do they add blush? You can add blush. It doesn't matter. Tattoos? Just cute tattoos. They don't add tattoos at all, I don't think. So yeah, I hope this helps to help you get more bids in Iciela. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna show you the speed paint for this one.